But I
Absolutely.
hope to change that because we introduced new legislation to the New York Senate to try to deregulate. Talking to senators and legislators, they realize, hey, you shouldn't have to do what UFC does. And because one of the things I tell is like, you know what, you have a better chance of getting injured if you're in the fight scene in Les Miserables on Broadway than getting hurt in the ring.
Yeah. I mean,
So
most
if
people.
Broadway, yeah, it's entertainment. We should fall under entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of not a lot of grievous injuries. I would imagine that happen.
I've seen quite a few. Hmm. I've seen quite a few.
Quite a few. Can you count them on two hands?
Yes.
Ooh. Well, you've been
Over how
doing it
many
for
years
so
have
long.
you been doing this?
Oh, you mean like broken necks or deaths?
Yeah, actually.
No,
Oh,
just even stuff
maybe
like
not two hands.
dislocation.
Well, look at it this way. I probably wrestled 5,000 times. I think maybe I saw 6 or 7 accidents like that. I've seen
Yeah,
thousands of
the
bloody notes.
ratio is
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's one of those things where it's like people who are afraid to fly but will drive to the airport. You have a better chance of getting into a car wreck than an airplane
Yeah,
crash.
for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Something as dramatic as that. We're just trying to get people aware, and it should be working. So hopefully sooner or later. But the whole point, one of the reasons why I did introduce this bills was to bring down ticket prices. I really want wrestling is for everybody. Now everybody can't be a wrestler, but wrestling is for everybody. So if I could bring that ticket down $25 to 15 and still make a profit,
Get more
win
people,
for
get more
everybody.
families. Yeah, you'd help the
Who did you
family.
submit the legislation to?
It was first under Senator Tim Kennedy, but he actually became a congressman. And apparently, there's a rule: is if you have legislation pending and you go to Congress or a federal level, all that stuff is axed. So we resubmitted it with Senator Art from North Tonawanda, and it's been signed by a couple other legislatures and senators as well, Oreo, I believe. So it's in committee. So hopefully one of these days it will come to the floor and pass and make wrestling, at least in New York State, culturally relevant again. We've been in the golden age of wrestling, of indie wrestling for a while, and New York State has fallen behind. That's why I say Orlando is a fantastic spot,
It is.
Tampa, Central Florida in general, because you don't have the regulation that we do. So everyone is thriving down there. We hope to make New York thrive again.
Jacob, is there any way that we could help you with your cause? Like, is there a petition we could put out there to have signed? I know we're still building followers here, but my toy business has a decent amount of followers. I can put something out there. Is there anything that we can do to help you get that achieved? Because, I mean, the whole everything would be much better. When I first started wrestling in New York State, I had a wrestling license I had to apply for.
Yeah.
What'd you have to do to
And we
get
won't
it?
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
the
Luckily, it's
test to
changed a
renew it.
little bit, but not enough. But that is definitely one thing I'll look into, and hopefully let you and the viewers know how you can help.
Oh yeah, let me know. Definitely, I'm definitely on board to see if there's some way I can help you get that done. Matt knows a lot of politicians down in Florida.
I
Maybe they
do.
know politicians in New York.
Uh, well, I know a few local politicians. The biggest big shot I know is probably Brian Hodgers, and but he's a state rep. But that's just because I knew him before he became a politician. So,
Oh, all right. Well, call him up. Jacob needs the help. We gotta get wrestling back to normal. Although the big problem when it comes to deregulating a lot of things, I agree with what you say, Jacob, about how we can't be treated the same way that Vince gets treated when he comes in, or what he's not even there anymore. Whatever company it is that comes in, or Dana White,
Dana
or a
White, yeah.
professional. We at the Walleye Club or at the high school, we should not have those same requirements. There should be something similar. But the fear of deregulating was always that more, we called them backyarders back in the day. You just have more of them flocking in. Guys that have 50 bucks in a shoestring budget and get their friend from work to rustle the guy from down the street. And then next thing you know, they're killing towns because if Grapple Pro comes in the next month, the fans might say, "Oh, we saw wrestling there. It was no good." And you didn't even get there yet. That was always agree with
That is a
deregulation.
very yeah. It will happen, but like I said before, the cream rises to the top. you're going to get the quality of not only wrestlers, but you'll want wrestlers who will work for certain promotions. Like, yes, we don't need a doctor, but if we have a doctor on board, maybe to come work for us rather than the backyard who just created their own, duct tape ring.
Their own
Uh,
hole
you know, you
somewhere
can,
in South Buffalo. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
made out of PVC piping and duct tape.
right.